Alright guys, another icy day here. Let's check on Jaffa and Jasper. They had a cozy night in here and now we'll let them out for the first time with all the others into the pasture. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again for the next episode here. Today is a bit more of an everyday episode. What are we up to today? We had our episode last week where we picked up Jaffa and Jasper. So we will give you an update today on Jasper and Jaffa, how they integrated in the herd and how they are doing now. I also want to show you how we handle alpacas, so basically how we walk them. Want to give you a bit of an introduction how to walk an alpaca because we have a tour scheduled later on today, so we just take that chance here. We will have to go down into the fields now in a minute and check the trails, see if we need to prepare any of the trails because we have a lot of rain at the moment, and if the trails are muddy we need to put some bedding on for the tours. Now, I can explain that here quickly. It's an interesting situation we are in at the moment. Pretty complex. So, our farm trails or our trails where we do the alpaca walks, they all run through the fields. There is no road or path in terms of any gravel on it or so. So that's the situation we have here at the moment. In the winter the fields are very wet, and I try to keep the alpacas off the fields where the trails run through, so to keep them off the trails because obviously they mess them up, but it's not always possible. At the moment the alpacas rotate through different sections of the whole area, depending on the deworming schedule that we are on. And at the moment, I can only have them on this field because the field up there is still resting. We have to push that can down the road for another week before we have the next dosing scheduled. Then they can go into the next field. So at the moment, everything comes together. We have very wet weather, a lot of rain. The alpacas are in this field here. They mess up the trails. We also have the midterm holidays at the moment. So we have quite a few tours scheduled. Tomorrow is Saturday and the weather doesn't look too good. The small dark brown one, this is Jasper, and then all the way back there behind the black one, now the small brown one walking over to Papa, the small one coming up to us. He's coming up to us now. His name is Jaffa, and Jaffa is very curious. A bit unusual actually for this, well, not for this age, but for an alpaca in general. You see how his tail goes up and he walks straight up to us? I don't encourage it at all at the moment because he must learn he must learn to keep his distance from us. I just think he needs to establish the difference between us and them, and I'm watching that behavior closely at the moment. But anyway, it's amazing how quickly they integrated in the whole group. I had them separated for half an hour, you know, with a gate in between, so that they could meet the others without being in the herd. But they got along really well. I put them in the same area in the shed as the others were. There was a bit of sniffing going on, a little bit of bullying. You know, Papa started to spit at one of them, I think. Very minor things, and maybe took half an hour or so, you know, checking everyone out, and then they were settled in. And the next day I let them out in the field all together. And that's always a bit of a sensitive moment when you have two new ones, especially when they are that young, and you leave them into the fields, especially here because there is quite some area to roam, and there are quite some dodgy corners, you know, and it could happen that they get separated from the others, that they even, you know, get lost somewhere in the corner. Yeah, but that went all really well. Jasper, the dark brown one, caught himself in one of these big blackberry, how you call that, strands, whatever. And he was really caught, and it was interesting to see because Jaffa stayed with him and the others started to walk off. But yeah, I saw it in time and I brought the others back anyway. I brought them all back up in the shed. But these are things you have to look for in the first few days. I like to do the walking demonstration with Choco here. This is Choco. And yeah, you see, this is the situation here. Why for us it is actually especially helpful to have a solid outcome with the training. So we do the training very gentle, so the animals don't feel forced into it, because if they do, it would be much harder later on every day to put the halter onto them, okay? And it would create much more stress. And because we are doing this almost every day with our alpaca walking tours, it's essential for us, you know, to make this process for them as gentle as possible. And they are very well trainable, these animals, because they are so curious and so sociable. So once you give them the time and work with their curiosity, they are very happy to learn new things and go along with new experiences. And they actually enjoy exploring new situations and new places. Especially the beach is one of their favorite. Right, so this is Choco. And I'll just bring him out here now a little bit away from the others so that I can show the walking part a little bit better. Now, as they are camels, they do walk one after another like a little caravan, okay? So if you remember, I'm sure you've seen camels walking in some documentary or whatever. Like a caravan, one after another, that's how alpacas move through their environment. And when we go on an alpaca walk with our alpacas, we basically walk with them as they would walk with their herd through the fields. And they would mostly walk one after another. And you might have seen that or see it in one of our videos when we bring the alpacas up from the field, that at some point they start lining up one after another almost and going along, you know. Right, so basically what we do, we just give a little talk. We might have to insist at the beginning, especially now because we are moving him away from the others. Alpacas don't like that. They always want to stick together, okay? They don't want to be singled out. But that's why we have at least 2 alpacas on a tour. We could never walk one alpaca just on its own. It would get way too nervous. Yeah, but then you just start walking, and they will just walk gentle behind or next to you, and you can have the lead long and loose, okay? So that's how easy it is to walk an alpaca. All right, guys, that's it for today, for this week. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did so, hit the like button down below here. Maybe subscribe to our channel. We bring out weekly episodes every Friday now. Yeah, I hope you liked that content, and I wish you a great week. Have a good one, and maybe see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.